Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2017 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Yes, still in Poland, as you can see from the background, although I will be back in the States by the middle of September of this month, in about another week and a half, actually. So thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes. As always, your support, feedback, and comments are most welcome and appreciated. And regardless of what corner of the globe I am traveling, as those of you who follow me regularly know, I still continue to work. So thank you for continuing to keep me busy. Those of you who reach out for one-on-one readings, and to my regular clients as well. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, although I know YouTube has recently changed the layouts of things, so hopefully it's not too confusing. Click on the About or Description button or the Tools wheel, which will give you a little more information, and also has my email address, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to do a reading with you. I do a wide variety of readings, and I read full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So pretty flexible on timing for both live and recorded readings. Current turnaround time is anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time, we can schedule your readings. So if you're interested, send me an email and we will go from there. So moving right along, as you know, these are general readings, and there are so many of you watching, and everyone has such different things going on in your lives. They, of course, are not going to mean the same thing to the same degree and intensity for everyone watching. So check your rising and your moon sign videos as well. They may play out a little more predictably for you and just give you additional insight and clarity into what's going on for the time frame that your reading covers. So let's get into this. This reading is for Capricorn, the earth sign of Capricorn, for September 2017. Let's see what's going on for our Capricorns. I apologize for getting the last few signs out right on the 1st and 2nd. Normally I have them out right at the end of the month, but I had some computer issues which have been resolved. So thank you for your patience, Capricorn. So Capricorn, we have the 5 of Swords and the King of Pentacles, followed by the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Wands, the Ace of Swords and the Magician, and the Chariot with Strength. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. You have 4 major arcana cards, Capricorn, so it looks like the month of September will be about a lot of divine timing and orchestration. Major arcana cards do represent energies of God, Spirit, your angels, and guides, kind of fingers of the divine, as I call them. Energies we, of course, have no control over coming in, but we do have, of course, choices over how we choose to deal with what happens in our life. But it looks like just about half of your spread is major arcana cards and energy. Wheel of Fortune in the upright as your crowning card, overall energy and guidance from the bottom of the deck, does indicate that you will probably have a pretty good month. Things will probably go pretty well for you. There will probably be some, I think for some of you, some unexpected blessings coming your way, particularly in how you're going about starting something new in your life, because I feel like a lot of you are planning something new, beginning to start something new. I feel some of you maybe some entrepreneurial energy as well. Looks like you're going to be having some good luck, good fortune. Basically, I think just in the month overall, as I always say, for some of you, this is going to resonate in perhaps the work, job, career, business portion of your life. Some of you, this may be in the relationship area of your life. The details, of course, will vary because there's so many of you watching, but the energy fundamentally will remain the same. I think for the majority of you, if not all of you, it's going to be a pretty good month, particularly with the Wheel of Fortune in the upright position as overall guidance and strength. I'll be glad to get back to my normal environment where the glare is not so interesting here. The Wheel of Fortune also indicates that there will probably be some unexpected occurrences happening, but I feel like they're going to be positive. And I feel like actually for some of you that are involved in entrepreneurial business or planning an entrepreneurial business or perhaps opening something up in the month of September 2017, as I am recording this particular video right on the 1st. I feel like you have maybe an unexpected, I feel like some of you had perhaps earlier an expected source of revenue or investment somehow in your business or project that you thought was closed off, but is actually going to be coming through sometime during the month of September, almost at kind of the last minute, just when you need it. Very specific message, probably only for one or two or a handful of people out there. But again, a source of money, investment, some kind of resources that you needed for either a business or a project of some kind that you thought was closed off will be coming through. For a lot of the rest of you, it's just good luck, good fortune this month. I think it's going to be a good month for the majority of you. And it looks like a lot of you have just come through something, overcome something, maybe won something, come through a challenge of some kind. We do begin with the Five of Swords, followed by the King of Pentacles. So we have air and earth energy here. Air energy is what governs swords. It's that mental, cerebral, intellectual energy, belief systems, outlooks, and communication. The Five of Swords is technically a card of victory. I say technically because sometimes it can represent a victory or a success or a completion which comes at a high cost. The question usually accompanying, is something worth it? And the answer is sometimes yes and sometimes no. You can see this man has just come through a triumph, a battle, a challenge of some kind, and he's the victor. His foes or opponents are on the ground behind him. He's gathered up all their weapons, and he's holding his own aloft in victory. But it's been a hard-won battle. He's tired, worn out, exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. This is a challenge, a battle which has obviously cost a lot. Sometimes the Five of Swords can represent a victory which comes at the cost of personal relationships, as demonstrated by the people on the ground behind him. So for a lot of you, it looks like you've perhaps come through let's look at your elemental energy here. Half of it's major arcana cards, but we have 3 swords, a wands, and a pentacle. I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be some of you, I think it's going to be in the business arena of your life or job or career path in your life. This could represent, of course, you can always translate the same energy energetically into the relationship portion of your life. Some of you, this may resonate in the relationship portion of your life. And under that umbrella, of course, it can be a variety of different types of relationships. I feel like for others of you, it's job, work, career. Some of you, again, it's entrepreneurial business or project, some kind of project of some kind. And I feel like some of you are also going through a shift on actually what you want to do with your life path or your life journey moving forward. I feel like you've perhaps come to the end of something or want to be at the end of something and you feel like you're done with it. Some of you, I'm getting this as a course of study too as well. But I feel like there's going to be a shift in what you're doing in general with your life path. That Five of Swords, I feel like for a lot of you, because of so much air energy in this, that there's been a sense that whatever this battle or challenge is that you've come through, a lot of it has been internal, and it's been about the way that you view something, whether it's some of you, this is going to be how you view making money. Some of you, I think, are making the switch or thinking about ways to make the switch from working to somebody else to working for yourself. Again, you can translate this energy into the relationship sector of your life as well. What I'm channeling first and foremost is that it has to do with your life path in general. Some of you, I feel like this is a religious or spiritual path too, but there's a sense of having overcome and going back and forth and struggling with the way that you perceive how you do it, whether it's your job, your career, your spiritual path, or even how you view yourself in the realm of relationships as well. And I feel like you have actually just kind of demonstrated and held steady with the character traits which are inherent in your sign. Capricorn, you're an earth sign. That Five of Swords is paired with the King of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, showing up as a king. So reaching the mastery of your suit, meaning that you've kind of overcome challenges in relation to the characteristic traits of your sign, and also that you've mastered them in the sense that you're able to to tap and access your inherent elemental traits and qualities without allowing yourself to be controlled by them or having your life run by them completely. Pentacles is earth energy, so it's all about continuity, stability, responsibility, working hard, building up foundation for yourself, truthful honesty. The King of Pentacles exhibits all of these things on an energetic level. Probably somebody who's comfortable, if not wealthy, somebody who's generous, somebody who's just a really good, solid anchor for people. And that earth sign, of course, on the negative side, earth signs can sometimes, as everybody can, tend to be a little more rooted, a little more stubborn, not as quick to adapt or to change as well. But kings and queens represent individuals who have reached the mastery of their suit. So somebody who has either a fair amount of life path behind them, or somebody who's just allowed their life lessons to kind of shape and form them in a positive way and learn from them, which I think that you have through these changes that you've been kind of mulling over in your head, again, with this perspective shift. Some of you, it may have been a person, I feel like somebody may have come into your life, or there may have been an event which happened a while back, which sparked kind of a shifting of, again, what your perspective is on something, how you earn money, what you do on a day-to-day basis, religious or spiritual paths as well, or again, even how you see yourself in relationships and how you operate in relationships, something about your place in your life path, changing your perspective about that. And I feel like you're beginning to make changes and perhaps shift some long-term goals. Some of you may be considering changing your life completely, changing your life path completely. Some of you, that's going to be reflective in different areas of your life because there's so many of you watching. But again, energy is the same. Considering making some major changes to your life path and what your long-term goals are. Next, we have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Two of Wands. So the Seven of Swords, one of those interesting cards, often nicknamed the thief card. It can represent slipperiness or deception, but it sometimes gets a bad rap, and usually there's a lot of negative energy associated specifically with this card. But no tarot card is standalone. You have to kind of take it in context with what's surrounding it and what you're feeling or what you're channeling. The Seven of Swords can just represent also keeping things, kind of playing your cards close to your chest, not talking a lot about your plans, which is kind of what I'm getting for those of you here, because it's paired with the Two of Wands. Wands is fire energy. This is creative, manifesting energy. It's all about powerful change and movement and motion, forward motion. It's very fluid energy. And you see this energy often manifesting in the areas of our life that are about newness or creating or manifesting artistic or creative endeavors or careers. The Two of Wands is a card about long-term thinking and planning. It's about being at a crossroads, which I feel like you've come to now, Capricorn, and trying to figure out which way you want to go, which path you want to choose, as this man is. And the key is in long-term thinking and planning. It's not about what you want now. It's about looking down the road. Where do you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Getting that fixed definitively in your mind, so it makes the path to it easier to choose or easier to see. And I feel that paired with the Seven of Swords, this is a card about, I think a lot of you are just going to be keeping this to yourself. And the advice is also, maybe this is something you may not want to share with a lot of people. I'm kind of feeling like what you're considering may be either out of character for you or off the beaten path, or represents a huge change. And that a lot of the people just in your regular day-to-day life may have a lot of maybe not quite so welcome feedback for you. So for the time being, it's about kind of playing your cards close to your chest as well. Some of you, again, that I'm getting that entrepreneurial energy off of ideas and things of that sort, you want to keep them to yourself too, because the potential for somebody else to kind of jump onto it is also there as well. So it's about choosing your long-term goals, which I feel like for a lot of you is going to be a shift or a change of some kind. And for the time being, just kind of keeping mum about that or not sharing it with too many people. And I feel like a lot of you are having, again, this new perspective, this new epiphany, coming up with some new ideas, a new way of looking at something, and feeling quite empowered about doing that, and beginning to maybe set some plans or some action. Some of you, again, maybe opening a new business, or taking, maybe in the process of gathering the resources and funds, whatever you need to start something new, whether it's a new business or another kind of project of some kind. The last half of the month is very, very powerful. 3 out of these 4 cards are major arcana cards, and they're all about being focused and intentional and being disciplined and persevering. We have the Ace of Swords, more air energy, with the Magician. So aces represent the number ones. They typically represent a new beginning, a start of something, being at the beginning of a new path. They represent seeds, and of course, seeds need to be planted in the right soil at the right time and taken care of. Otherwise, this Ace of Swords could fizzle out as an idea which you never act on, or something which gets started but isn't followed through with. So again, it ends up going nowhere. So it represents a new start which holds a lot of potential. Now it's the Ace of Swords, so we have that mental air energy. So this is about having a new perspective, new ideas, a new way of looking at something. And for some of you too, particularly those of you for whom this might resonate more in the religious area of your life, or the spiritual path that you walk, this could be shifting, this could be conversion, it could be just seeing things in a different way and choosing to follow a different path again. But I'm getting just kind of this overall guidance for everyone that September is a month where you don't want to talk a lot about your plans or talk a lot about the shifting that's going on in place. But you want to, and I think the last half of the month is more about putting action to your words, but again, kind of going your own way with that, because the Ace of Swords is paired with the Magician. Powerful card, but an independent spirit as well. The Magician is an independent person. In fact, if he has some challenges, it might be in working with others because he has his own way of doing things and kind of thinks that's the best way of doing it. The Magician doesn't need very much, if anything, from anyone else. He tends to go his own way, and he tends to be able to do for himself quite well. He's reached a point in his career, in his craft, where he's worked long and hard. He's practiced a lot. He's learned from trial and error, triumph, success, and failure and defeat as well. He hasn't allowed any of that to stop him. So now he's reached a point where he can create and manifest and build whatever he wants to, and be very good at it because of his experience, the tools, the wisdom. He has everything he needs. He needs very little, if any, help from anyone else. And again, new ideas, new perspectives. Towards the last half of September, Capricorn beginning to set things into motion after going through whatever you've been through, kind of figuring out what it is you want long term, definitively. And just kind of quietly going about starting to put action to the words and moving forward in a very independent and powerful way. And I feel like most of you are going to have most, if not everything that you need, at least in the beginning, on your own to kind of start this. And again, you have that Wheel of Fortune in the upright kind of crowning you for the month of September. So good luck and fortune are also with you as well. Divine timing and orchestration, I feel, is positively at play for you for the month of September 2017. And we end the month with a beautiful, powerful combination of energy and advice, the Chariot and Strength. The Chariot is a great follow-up card to the Magician, similar energy. It is a card of success, swift, powerful forward motion because of putting attention to details, gathering together all the resources you needed, disparate forces, pulling everything together and making it work in unison and harmony to successfully propel something forward. Like the Magician, this is about taking the internal qualities of dedication, strength, perseverance, attention to detail, being focused and intentional, and exerting that in an external way to create something externally. Because I think for a lot of you, this is going to resonate more in the tangible earth energy sector of your life: job, business, career path, projects, etc. And it paired with strength, this is about also facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. Strength can be about wrestling with your own demons, your own, again, insecurities and doubts, maybe second guessing yourself, but coming through that, facing whatever it is that you're afraid of. It's a beautiful card. It represents not only the strength that it takes to get this thing going and putting it into motion, but also the strength and wisdom and insight and clarity you get from actually facing whatever your fears are about moving forward in a very powerful way. I love the last half of the month for you. Well, the whole month in its entirety looks pretty good, Capricorn. It looks like the first half of it is more internal, maybe kind of coming down from having gone through something, maybe really kind of the wheel's been turning and turning and turning, things shifting, perspective shifting. maybe some epiphany moments, keeping things kind of close to yourself, looking at long-term goals, maybe shifting, changing, getting some different long-term big picture goals, having that epiphany, that new perspective, and beginning to act on it, being very focused and intentional and assertive, pulling together everything that you need and moving forward very swiftly, very strongly, not allowing anything to get in your way or get distracted or lose momentum at all. And again, I feel like Wheel of Fortune is crowning you in the upright position. So I feel like things are going to go pretty smoothly for you over September, but particularly more in the last half. And at the very end of the month, it looks very powerful. I feel like you're just being asked to just barrel right through, regardless of what your fears, your doubts, your insecurities are, but being very smart about that, because the Magician and the Chariot are both about, moving forward, but in an intentional, assertive, attention to detail, kind of dedication sort of way. You have this big picture goal now, you have this long-term goal, and you're moving forward very definitively and assertively. And it looks like Spirit is strongly cradling and supporting anything new that you're beginning, but particularly projects, career paths. Um, it feels like whatever it is that you guys are starting, at least from the outside looking in, people are going to be like, wow, that's so different. Or maybe it's out of character for you, or it represents a shift from what you have been doing or what your life goal or life path has been up to now. But very, very powerful movement. And it looks like now is the time to do this. September is the time to start setting things into motion, because I think everything's working in your favor this month, Capricorn. So that pretty much wraps up your September 2017 general reading. Thank you so much for watching it and for your patience and waiting for it. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button or that little tool wheel for more information, and my email address, which is MAGGIE, the number 1 MCGUIRE at gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the September mid-month readings. And until then, Capricorn, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.